Hi, and welcome to this session on migrating files and drawings. My name is Joshua Coombs, and I'm the Autodesk Global Technical Lead for AC Civil Product Support. In this session, we're going to talk about some things that you're going to want to do before you migrate, as well as how to migrate custom Civil 3D files and understanding migrating your Civil 3D drawings. Before you migrate an entire office, you're going to want to test out your migration process on a single computer. So the first thing you want to do is install Civil 3D on a test box. Next, migrate all your custom files and confirm the results. Next, migrate a single drawing and review that drawing in Civil 3D. If your custom files and your drawings look as desired, you can then continue to deploy Civil 3D to the rest of the machines. Here you can use a deployment or other method to install these to the other machines. Finally, use the same steps as in step 2 to migrate the custom files. Now let's look at some of the custom files that can be migrated. In particular, we're going to look at the CUI files, the tool palettes, the toolbox, and custom pipe catalogs. First, let's look at migrating CUI files. It is important to understand the changes from release to release. Migrating a CUI file from a previous version may disable the new features in the recent version. It's important to understand that commands change from release to release. So understand the commands that are in the CUI file that you're looking to migrate and ensure that you're not overriding any new features or changes in commands. It may be helpful to determine if an enterprise CUI file is appropriate. An enterprise CUI file can help ensure consistency from one user to another and make customization easy. It will also allow you to override users' customizations and ensure they're using the product appropriately. It is good practice not to modify the original CUI file. Instead, create a partial CUI file using the Transfer tab and load any customizations into that CUI file and load it as a partial CUI file. If you're using custom icons, it's important to note that these are stored in a separate directory. Add that directory to your project file search paths in order to get those custom icons to display. To migrate a tool palette from one release to another, it is important to understand that there are custom files associated with each one of these tool palettes. In particular, the ATC file contains the information for the palette itself, and the PNG file contains the images, which are stored under a subfolder for that tool palette. It may be useful to save these custom palettes to a shared network location, and after upgrading, point to that custom palette location. You can use the Options File, Tool Palette File locations to do this. To migrate a toolbox, it'll first be necessary to copy and rename the original toolbox cfg.xml file. You can find this file as listed here for Vista, Windows 7, and XP. You'll then need to use an XML editor to remove all but the root category and the specific name for the toolbox. Then restart Civil 3D and add a new category and tools in the toolbox and save. Then add the custom XML file to the new installation. When migrating a custom pipe catalog, do not copy the entire pipe catalog. Copying the entire catalog may overwrite the new content provided in the new release. Instead, each new pipe creates a new DWG BMP, and XML file. You can find these files as listed here for Vista and Windows 7 and XP. Copy these files into the new pipe catalog for the new version. An important step is to start Civil 3D and run the pipe catalog regen command at the command line to rebuild the pipe catalog. You will then need to open each one of the new parts in the part builder and save them individually. Now let's discuss migrating drawings. It is important to understand the ramifications of migrating a drawing from one release to another. The first thing to understand is the AutoCAD drawing version that changes every few years. For instance, we are currently in a 2010 drawing file format. The previous drawing file format was 2007 and 2004. It is important to understand that a 2010 drawing file format cannot be opened in an application using a 2007 or a 2004 file format. However, if you want to open a drawing in an earlier version, you'll need to use the Save As command and change the drawing format to one of those earlier releases. In addition to the AutoCAD drawing file format that changes every few years, the AEC object version changes every year, and it is important to note that these are not backwards compatible. Also, the AEC objects are not recognized by other AutoCAD applications without the object enabler. So if you open a drawing in AutoCAD Civil 3D 2011, you will not be able to open that drawing in AutoCAD Civil 3D 2010 and be able to see the civil objects. However, there are some techniques for sharing AEC objects between one version and another for AutoCAD products. If you are sharing with another Autodesk application of the same version, it is best to use the Civil Object Enabler. This will allow you to open the drawing in the other Autodesk application and see, select, and report on the civil objects in that drawing. Another option is to use proxy graphics. Setting the system variable proxy graphics and proxy show to 1 will allow you to save a drawing and open it in another Autodesk application and display the civil objects as proxy graphics. Unlike the Civil Object Enabler, you will not be able to select or report on the civil objects in this drawing, however. Finally, the Export to AutoCAD command is available if you just want to save your Civil 3D drawing as a primitive AutoCAD drawing. It is important to note that this will explode all of your civil objects and they will lose their intelligence. So there is no coming back from the export to AutoCAD back into Civil 3D and expecting to see your civil objects and the intelligence associated with them. If you're looking to share your drawing with a different version of Civil 3D, your options are limited. If you need that Civil 3D to retain its object intelligence, you're going to need to use the Export to LandXML command. Most civil objects can be exported to LandXML and imported into a new drawing of the new format. However, it is important to note that they will not retain their styles, so some manual effort will be necessary to get the drawing looking like it did in the prior release. If, however, the civil intelligence is not necessary, you can again use the Export to AutoCAD command to explode the drawing and save it as a primitive AutoCAD drawing. Some additional options that are available if you want to share your drawing with non-Autodesk applications are exporting to DXF or DGN files or exporting to LandXML. Many other applications can also read a LandXML file. However, if you're just looking to share your drawing for a review process, you might consider utilizing the free Autodesk Design Review application. This will allow you to share your drawing with others such that they can be marked up and returned to you for revisions. Now that's it for this session. I hope you find this information useful.